Hi friend, today we see welded connections. The development of welding technology in 1940s has considerably reduced the riveted joint applications. Welding is the method of locally melting the metals that are sheets or plates overlapping or butting with intensive heating along with a filler metal or without it and allowing cooling them to form a coherent mass, thus creating a joint. A typical weld showing various zones of weld are shown in figure. Such joints can be created to make structure, boilers, pressure vessels, etc., and are more conveniently made in steel. The progress has been made in welding several types of steels, but large structures size may impede the use of automatic techniques and heat treatment, which becomes necessary in some cases. Welded ships were made in large size and large number during Second World War, and failures of many of them spurred research effort to make welding is better technology. Next is advantages of welded connections. First advantage is the gross sectional area of the welded members is effective since the welding process does not involve drilling holes. Second advantage is welded structures are comparatively lighter than corresponding riveted structures. Third advantage is a welded joint has a greater strength, sometimes equal to the strength of the parent metal itself. Fourth one is repairs and further new connections can be done more easily than riveting. Next is welded joints provide rigidity leads to smaller bending moments than corresponding riveted members. Next is welded joints are economical to riveted joints due to low maintenance cost. Members of such shapes that afford difficulty for riveting can be more easily welded. Next one is a welded structure has a better finish and appearance than the corresponding riveted structure. Connecting angles, gusset plates, splicing plate can be minimized. Next advantage is steel bars in reinforced concrete structures may be welded easily so that lapping of bars may be avoided. It is possible to weld at any point at any part of a structure, but riveting will always require enough clearance. And last advantage is the process of welding does not involve great noise compared to the noise produced in the riveting process. Next point is disadvantages of welded connections. First disadvantage is welding requires skilled labor and supervision. Next is testing a welded joint is difficult. An X-ray examination alone can enable us to study the quality of connections. Due to uneven heating and cooling, the welded members are likely to get wrapped at the welded surface. And last is internal stresses in the welded zones are likely to be set up. Next point is types of welded joints. There are two main types, that are butt weld joint and fillet weld joint. In first butt weld, this type of weld is used when the members are in same plane. Butt weld butt weld is also termed as groove weld. The butt weld is used to join structural members carrying direct compression or tension. It is used to make T joint and butt joint. There are so many types of butt joints. These are named depending upon shape of the groove made for welding. First type of butt weld is square butt weld. A square butt weld is a weld in the preparation of which the fusion faces lie approximately at right angles to the surface of the component to be joined and are subsequently parallel to one another, like shown in figure A and figure B. A square butt weld that is one sided, and in figure B the butt weld in both sides. Next type of butt weld is single V butt weld. A single V butt weld is a weld in the preparation of which the edges of both components are prepared so that in the cross section the fusion faces form a V as shown in figure. Next point is double V butt weld. A double V butt weld is a weld in the preparation of which the edges of both components are double beveled so that in cross section the fusion faces forms two opposing V's as shown in as figure. Next type is single U butt weld. A single U butt weld is weld in the preparation of which the edges of both components are prepared so that in the cross section the fusion face form as a letter U as shown in figure. Next is double, in which a weld in the preparation of which the edges of both components are prepared so that in the cross section then the fusion faces form two opposite U's as shown in as a figure. Next type of butt weld is a single J butt weld. A single J butt weld is a weld in the preparation of which the edges of one component are prepared so that in the cross section the fusion faces is in the form as a letter J, capital J, and the fusion faces of other component is at right angle to the surface of the first component as shown in as figure. Then double J butt weld. It is a weld in the preparation of which the edges of one component are prepared so that in the cross section the fusion faces is in the form of two opposing J's and the fusion faces of the other component is at right angle to the surface of the first component. Next type of butt weld is single bevel butt weld. It is a weld in the preparation of which the edges of one component is beveled and the fusion face of the other component is at right angle to the surface of the first component. Next type is double bevel butt weld. A double bevel butt weld is a weld in the preparation of which the edges of one component are double beveled and the fusion face of the component is at right angles to the surface of the first component as shown in figure. Next point is specification of butt weld. First specification of butt weld is size of butt weld. The size of a butt weld is specified by the effective throat thickness. The effective throat thickness in case of complete penetration butt weld is taken as the thickness of a thinner part joint. The double V, W, double J and double bevel butt welds are the example of complete penetration butt weld. The effective throat thickness in case of incomplete penetration butt weld is taken as 7 by 8 of the thickness of the thinner part joint. But for the purpose of stress calculation, a required effective throat thickness not exceeding 5/8 of the thickness of thinner part joint should be used. An incomplete penetration butt weld is also termed as unsealed single butt weld. Single V, single U, single J, single bevel butt joints are the example of incomplete penetration butt weld. Next specification is effective length of butt weld. The effective length of butt weld is the length for which the specified size, that is throat thickness of the weld exists. Next is effective area of butt weld. The effective area of a butt weld is taken as the product of the effective throat thickness and the effective length of butt weld. And last specification is the extra, that is reinforcement. The extra metal deposited above the surface of the parent metal is called reinforcement. This reinforcement is provided to give sufficient surface convexity and to ensure full effectiveness at the joint. Next type is next type of welded connection is fillet weld. This type of weld is used when the members to be connected overlap each other. A fillet weld is a weld of approximately triangular cross section joining two surfaces approximately as right angles to each other in lap joint or T joint. A fillet weld is as shown in figure. When the cross section of fillet weld is 45-degree isosceles triangle, it is known as standard fillet weld. Like in figure, first is standard fillet weld. The surfaces or isosceles triangles are made. The standard 45 fillet weld is generally used when the cross section of the fillet weld is 30 and 60-degree triangles as shown in figure number 2, that is special fillet weld is known as special fillet weld when the fillet surfaces are make angle 30-degree and 60-degree with surfaces. A fillet weld is termed as concave fillet weld or convex fillet weld or matter fillet weld depending on the weld face in concave or convex or approximately flat as shown in figure. A fillet weld is termed as normal fillet weld or deep penetration fillet weld depending upon the depth of penetration beyond the root is less than 2.4 millimeter or more respectively. The fillet welds are of three types as shown in as figure. Side fillet weld. It is a fillet weld stressed in longitudinal shear, that is a fillet weld the axis of which is parallel to the direction of these applied loads. It is also termed as longitudinal fillet weld. Then vertical fillet weld, that is end fillet weld. It is a fillet weld stressed in transverse shear, that is a fillet weld the axis of which is at right angle to the direction of applied load. It is also termed as transverse fillet weld. And third is diagonal fillet weld. It is a fillet weld the axis of which is inclined to the direction of the applied load. A fillet weld is placed on the sides or end of the base metal and is subjected to shear along the tension or compression and usually bending. Next point is specification of fillet weld. First specification is size of fillet weld. The size of normal fillet weld is specified as minimum leg length of a convex weld or 1.414 times the effective throat thickness of a concave fillet weld. The size of deep penetration fillet weld is specified as minimum leg length plus 2.4 millimeter. The length of leg is the distance from the root to the toe of a fillet weld measured along the fusion face. Next specification is effective throat thickness. The effective throat thickness of a fillet weld is the perpendicular distance from the root to the hypotenuse of the largest isosceles right angle triangle that can be within the weld cross section. The effective throat thickness of a fillet weld shall not be less than 3 millimeter and shall generally not exceed 0.7 times the thickness of thinner part and equal to the thickness of thinner part under special circumstances. Therefore, effective throat thickness is equal to 1 by root 2 into size of weld or 0.7 into size of weld. In general, for the purpose of stress calculation, effective throat thickness is equal to K into size of weld, where K is a constant. The value of K for different angles between fusion phases is adopted as recommended by IS 816/1969. Some values of K are from angle 60 to 90 degree, the value of K is 0.7. For value of angle 91 degree to 100 degree, the value of K is 0.65. Next specification of fillet weld is effective length. The effective length of the weld is the length of the weld for which the specified size and throat thickness, that is correctly proportional cross section of the weld, exists. It is taken as the actual length minus twice the size of weld. Since the specified size and throat thickness do not exist at the ends, the effective length of the weld is shown on the drawings. In practice, the actual length of weld is made equal to the effective length shown on the drawing plus twice the weld size. Next is effective area. The effective area of a fillet weld is taken as the product of effective length and effective throat thickness. Thank you.